Hi guys, how y'all doing? I am doing this video to introduce you guys to the Raspberry Pi. This is an actual computer. As you can see, it's small, fit in my hand. It's about the size, let's make sure we get a good picture here, about the size of a credit card. Very small. So this is actually a full-fledged computer. Let's go through some of the parts. Okay. So here you see that we have 4 different ports. These are your USB port, so you will be able to plug in your keyboard, your mouse. You also can plug in a scanner or any type of hardware, or charge up your phone, any type of hardware that has a USB connector. I also have an Ethernet port here. The Ethernet port, you will use this if you wanted to get on the internet or build a home network. So you do have the capability of creating a home network so that others, once you create your network, others can actually join on to your computer as a hotspot. I'm going to turn here to the side. We have a sound card, so you will be able to connect your speakers or headset or microphone here. You have a full HDMI port. This is where you would connect your monitor. You have the actual power connector that will connect the power connector here to power the Pi on. And I'm just going to open up the Pi. I'm going to show you, let me just show you here, and make sure I'm in the camera view, some of the parts of the inside of the Pi. What we have here, there is a camera port. It's actually a CSI port, so you can connect the camera here if you want a camera built into the computer. You also have a DSI port. This is a display port. So although you have the HDMI port to connect your monitor, but you may not want to connect this to a monitor. You may want to use like your computer screen. You may want to use your cell phone screen, or you may want to purchase a smaller screen that has this DSI port that you could actually connect to it instead of having a huge monitor. So that way you can carry it with you and carry everything with you in a small compact. Here underneath, this is the heat sink. There's actually 2 heat sinks. Underneath the heat sink is actual processor. Processor is the brain of the PC that does all the work. The heat sink, what the heat sink does, whenever you plug up anything electronic, you know it's heated. You ever check the back of a refrigerator? It's kind of warm. So what the heat sink does is pull heat away from the board so that it will prolong the life of the actual Raspberry Pi. Okay? Also on the Pi, you have a 40-pin connector. These are called your GPIO connectors, standing for general purpose input output. And what you would do with this, optional, if you had an external object that you want to connect to this Pi, what we use is a robot car or any type of robot, or any type of other hardware that you want to connect to it. You can connect here, and then we will write code, which is software that's loaded on this Pi, to actually navigate and operate whatever we connect to it. Okay? Also, let me just snap the case on. Now, snap the case back on the top. Also here, there's a SD card. This is a 16 gig. Of course, you know you can get them larger, 16, you get 8, 16, 32, so forth. But this is a 16 gig card. The actual operating system is actually loaded on this card. So you can buy cards and you can load your operating system, or you can get the operating system loaded on here. The operating system that's loaded on this card is called Raspbian. Raspbian is the standard operating system for the Raspberry Pi, but there are several types of operating system you can use. With the Raspbian operating system, there's some standard software that's connected here. So you have a mathematic application. You also have 2 programming apps, one called Scratch, one called Python. We're going to use Scratch. That's what we use to program. Okay. Have another little Raspberry Pi. This is the 2 version. Actually, I like the version 2 because on their case, the case to fit that, it has a slot where I can get to my camera port and my DSI port. So I like that one better. So that is the Raspberry Pi, and this is the textbook that we'll be using to code games. So once the students connect up, and they enjoyed it yesterday, we had a ball yesterday. So once the students connect up, then what we'll do is teach them. So in the next 2 weeks, I'll be teaching them how to use Scratch, which is a programming language, to actually create storyboards, to create animation, and also to program a robot. And they're going to program the robot on this Raspberry Pi, okay? And they're also going to create a game in Scratch. Well, I already created the game, and I'm going to walk them through creating the game so they can know, and then I'm going to have them to create their own game to kind of be creative. And that is the Raspberry Pi. Here's the good thing about the Raspberry Pi, y'all. 35 bucks. That's it. A full computer for 35 bucks. Great Christmas presents. Bye, y'all.